go. Ready? What number? 5. What number?
5.
Go! Got it! Nice job! What number is it? 10. Nice job. Good morning, guys. So it is now Tuesday. I did not vlog yesterday because I got to school and I had the biggest headache, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. It's one of those like sinus headaches. I think when I went out for a recess, because like they had just cut grass and I smelled a bunch of grass, like my migraine just shot through the roof. So I'm starting to vlog today. So good morning to all of you. I hope you are having a fantastic week. I wanted to show you what I'm doing for morning work because I'm changing it up just a little bit since it's the last 9 weeks, making it a little fun. So I am doing word problems in the morning, and let me show you what they look like. So my students come in and they have a word problem at their table. And here is the word problem. I read it out to them. They draw their answer here. They have to write it into the number sentence, tell me how many, and then when they glue this into their notebooks, they have like a little space down here in their journals, so they'll be able to write their answer down in a sentence below, and they use the number line to help solve their problem. So this is what their morning work looks like when they come in. They do this and then they get started with an activity. I also decided to change their daily data. And instead of them coming in and doing a daily data, because we've done so much of it now that they're really good at it, and they're at that point where I think it's kind of getting a little boring for them. So I saw this one teacher, and it's Miss Fifth on Instagram, and I'll leave a link to her down below, but she's phenomenal. Like, and I really love her handwriting, and she's just so precious, and I love her to death. So she did this thing where she has it on her whiteboard. Well, I don't really have a huge whiteboard in my classroom, and I need to kind of take it down to a level for kindergartners, so I figured, you know what, I can totally do this. So today it's going to be think it. So when they come in there, they have this, and it's think it. Think of a goal you can have today, write it down on a sticky note and place it here. So instead of having a morning message as well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about our goals, we're going to share them out, and then maybe kind of do some brainstorming with it here as well. So this is what we're going to be doing as far as our morning message, and when they come in, they're completing this versus going to their daily data over there. They're not going to do that anymore. This is definitely the first week that I'm trying this out, so I'll let you guys know how it goes by the end of the week. Hopefully it works out really well. So yeah, so now I'm just kind of getting together all of my things. I kind of have a little hot mess going on over here. So here, that's what my table looks like. But I also had one of those moments this morning because I was having a hard time waking up this morning. And I called my husband and said, you're gonna hate me because I left everything that I had made and printed last night on my printer. I had one of those moments because we were in bed watching the Vikings. I mean, how many of you have seen Vikings? If you've seen it, it's a great show. Like, I love that TV show. So we were in bed watching the Vikings TV show, and I was kind of doing my work in printing, and I did not get up out of bed to put that in my bag. Big mistake for myself. So my husband is sweet enough to be able to come and drop it off for me so that I can have it for later on today. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. Just kind of getting ready for the day. So I will check in with you guys a little bit later on. And yeah. Hey guys, okay, so it is one of my break times today. I wanted to show you a couple of things that I'm doing different. I decided to change up my homework a little bit because we're at that point, I feel like, in the year where so many of my kids are able to like do more. So I'm gonna flip you around, show you what I'm doing. So I'm gonna each give them, they're gonna have one book that they're taking home that's on their level that they can read, and then I have these very like skinny, thin composition notebooks. I think there's 40 sheets for each one of them, so I've just put their name on it, and they're gonna get a tic-tac-toe board. So I made this one last night, and they have to complete 3 little spaces. So one of them is word hunt. Hunt the book, find sight words, and write them in your notebook. Sequence the story, draw the beginning, middle, and end. Read the story to 3 different people. Draw a picture of your favorite part. Create an alternative ending. Create a new cover for the story. Write the title, author. Make a timeline that tells the important events. Make a connection with the story using text to text or text to self, and then draw a picture of the setting and write a sentence to describe it. So they're going to get this, and this is going to go inside of their red folders, and they will bring this back to me on Friday completed, so I can check them off and see what they've completed inside of their notebook. So just something else for me to be able to see what it is that they're doing. So we have already had reading, and we've had writing too. So something that we did, so this morning, check out this. So they did really well with this, and I'm very glad. So it's had like chart paper on top of it, so it's kind of got scratched up. But like some of them say, finish my poster, look at a lot of books, and she ended up deciding on the number 7 as her goal today. She said that she was going to end up smiling. She's had a rough day today. So my goal is to finish my work. I will finish my work. Stop arguing with Miss Backman. I love that. Finish my writing was a big, huge one. So a lot of them had those kind, because that's something that they need to work on. That's pretty much where we've been at today. They're working on their frog foldables for kind of their research that they're doing during reading time. So I have a unit, and it's a foldable, and I ended up deciding to change a little bit of it. So I didn't put the actual frog face on it, so they just have frogs, and they're going to write their names. So when they fold it on the inside, it's all about frogs, so they're going to write frogs. They write adjectives in here to describe frogs. And then we've gotten to this part where they do a sort. So they have little pictures, and they have to tell me what frogs eat and do not eat. So they're working on this during their reading time, which they're really enjoying. So yeah, that's about what we've been up to today. I have some fun little things that we're planning on doing later on, but I don't have all those together. So I am now planning for math, getting those things together. I have to go make a couple more copies of a few things. So there's my check-in for you guys. Hope your day's still going great. Mine's going fantastic. We've had a few small groups, which went really well. So yeah, it's a good day. It's beautiful outside. Take a look at that. It's beautiful. Sunny. I love it. Makes my heart happy. All right, so I will get back with you guys later on this afternoon. And yeah, bye. Good morning. So it is Thursday, and so I have a really fun project that we're doing today. So we're doing the standard where you are doing shared research on reading literature. So we took that in the form of like doing author studies and looking at an author, expressing an opinion about an author, and giving why you like that author or do not like that author. So yesterday this week, we've been talking a lot about Eric Carle, since we're doing butterflies and frogs and insects, and spring is really good for it. So I figured that I would give my kids the chance to kind of experience what it is to be like Eric Carle and to create art like Eric Carle. So we are going to use different tools, and we're going to paint today a bunch of paper, because that's how Eric Carle does it. He paints a ton of paper, and I bought a lot of different tools that we're going to use to help us create that texture in our painting. So I bought like the little bath scrubs. These are like the scrubs that you use to wash dishes. It's not focusing on it. but they would give a really good texture, and the ones that I love the most are going to be the combs. So we'll use combs too to help to create some texture. So I'm going to get all of that ready this morning. So remember guys, I told you that they are going to come in and they're not doing daily data, they're doing something a little bit different. So I found this idea and I thought it was really, really cute. So I did this one, and here's what they're doing. Today is Throwback Thursday, and it says, what is one thing that you have learned this week that you won't forget? So that is what my students are going to come in and do. They write it on a sticky note. I don't have them write it on a board because we just don't have enough space for that. So they write it on their sticky note, they put their name on it, and we discuss it during our morning meeting, which has been really good this week. So it's worked out really well. I am going to go and get ready for the painting. So I have to go grab a bunch of paper, and I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hey guys, so it is Thursday. I can't remember if I vlogged at all today. But I think I kind of did. I don't remember. I think I did this morning. So it is the end of the day. My kids are gone and it's pretty late in the day. I actually stayed a little later than normal today. But I got a lot of things done. I had to get a few things cleaned up because my room was chaotic. So today we took Eric Carle. Actually, I do remember talking about this. So we took Eric Carle and we are looking at his books and thinking of him as an illustrator and a writer. And the kids got really into the fact that he, you know, paints on tissue paper, and he uses that to cut out, and that's what he's really, really known for, is for, you know, his illustrations and those colors, and, you know, the fact that he just cuts paper. It's just so beautiful. So my kids today had huge pieces of butcher paper, and I rolled up all my carpets because it was really, really messy. They got to paint. I gave them 2 colors, and I did colors that would pair pretty nicely together, like red and yellow, green and blue, black and brown, those kind of colors. And I gave them a primary color that they had to first do the base with, and then they could go and add texture using some different tools, and I can show you, like, it's a hot mess. So here are some of the tools that we use down here. And it is incredibly messy right now. And this is pretty much the mess that I have left from doing the activity. Everything else is pretty much cleaned up. So after that, you know, we had to leave the paper to completely dry, and this afternoon I sat down and I just cut strips and strips. So here's all the paper and some of the different textures. You can kind of see them here, but I mean, they came out so awesome. And so what they also did was, after they completed their shared, you know, their painting, they were to think of either an animal or an insect or something that kind of thinks of spring, since we're talking a lot about spring right now. Something of spring that they could draw and use for their story and for their writing that they're gonna do. So they sat down and they all kind of drew the big outline of it. And tomorrow we're going to take the paper that we used and we're gonna cut it to fit the drawing that we made. And they're going to complete their writing. So they've already done some of their writing. They just have to go back through, reread it, edit it, make sure everything's spelled correctly, that kind of thing. So I'm really, really proud of them. They did a great job. We had a lot of fun today. We even did, what else did we do? In the afternoon, we did for math. Okay, so this was a major fail for me, y'all. I went home and I told my kids, they were all like, let's do another math game. So I said, okay, I'll come up with a math game. So I came up with a math game, and I went home and I did the math game, and I left the math game on my computer. I must have been extremely tired last night because it did not make it to school. So what do? You hand make it. So I sat down and I drew out a template, like a lily pad template, and then I wrote numbers on them and did the little lines to make them cute. So what we did is we had all of these were all over the floor here. And on my smart board, I had kind of interactive dice that you can touch, and it rolls the dice. They were in 2 teams, and they had to add the 2 numbers together and then hop to that number. And whoever hopped to that number first got a point. So whoever got to 20 won the game. And if you were on my Snapchat, you kind of would have seen everything kind of go down, and it was crazy. Like, first it was team 1 that was winning, and then all of a sudden team 2 catched up, and it was literally 19-19, and then all of a sudden, you know, it was like down to the nitty-gritty. The next person that did it was gonna be the winner. So I've never really had that happen. You know, I've always had them like be 2 or 3 or 4 ahead. So having them like neck and neck tied was insane, and they were all like so excited, and some of them were so sad that they lost. So we had to sit down and talk about sportsmanship and all that good jazz. So that was pretty cute. Anyways, so yeah, we've had a really busy day today. Have a couple more activities to do tomorrow for reading that I'll show you guys that we're doing. We're finishing up our frog foldables. So these are the foldables that I was telling you about. Just has frog on the front. They did adjectives, which they did a fantastic job doing that. They did their all about frogs, and then they had over here, they're going to complete their life cycle cards tomorrow. They did their fun facts, they did their diagram, and then they sorted what frogs eat. And the next thing that they're going to have to finish tomorrow is their life cycle frogs and their yeah, this is the life cycle, but it's in order. So they have to draw it and write the names in order. And they can use these cards to help them. So they're going to finish and work on that tomorrow. These have to be done by tomorrow. So that was kind of their Smart Center for the week. If you know that I do Smart Centers, that was my Smart Center for the week. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's almost like 4:30, so I'm leaving. I need to go pick up my son. And I think I'm picking up Chinese food. Because I don't know, I don't feel like cooking. So yeah, we had a birthday party at the end of the day, which was really nice. If you follow me on Snapchat, I do a lot on Snapchat during the day because it's so much easier. I feel like that in Instagram, I have to be like the most perfect, like picture perfect thing needs to be posted, and it stresses me out sometimes because, you know, you see some of these amazing pictures and you're like blown away by it. And sometimes I feel like my pictures, I have to put so much thought into my pictures so that I make sure that they are that beautiful. I don't know. That could just be me stressing myself out for no good reason. But Snapchat is way easier for me. I feel like it's a little more laid back, and you guys can kind of see, get a run through of what it is that I'm doing throughout the day. So check me out on Snapchat if you haven't already. It's Lettered Class. It's the same as my Twitter account and my Periscope account. So Lettered Class if you haven't already. I'm constantly on Snapchat, and you guys send the sweetest little messages, and I absolutely love it. You guys are so sweet and supportive and motivating, and y'all just keep me going. So thank you all for that, doing that. And yes, it is Thursday. I'm excited that tomorrow's Friday, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, so it is Friday afternoon. The kids are all gone. It is just about that time to leave and get ready to go home. I wanted to show you some things that my kiddos finished today. So we've been so busy, and this is typically about the time of the year where I feel like I am overloading them with work, but it's because they can do it, and I know that they can do it, and I believe that they can do it. So they do have a lot going on right now, but today, I mean, I was so impressed. Last year, my kids were like really cutting it close, and a lot of them didn't get finished. This year, my kids were on top of it, and they got it done. So I'm super proud. I wanted to show you a few things that they did. So we worked on that Eric Carle author study. We did share research during writing time. And so my kids got to paint, and that's what we did yesterday. And I cut them out into little squares, and they got to create their little masterpiece. So here you can kind of see some of them created, like he did a horse, and like it just dawned on me that, oh my gosh, we should do almost like a writing like Eric Carle. So we came up with springtime, what do you see? I see a brown horse looking at me is what this little boy wrote. So we started off with springtime, what do you see? But then they got to create the bottom sentence themselves. So it was interesting to see what some of them did. Springtime, what do you see? I see flower in the grass, has blue, white, and yellow and white. So there's her flower that she did, and she added a sun and a little bit of a sky. Here's this one. She did a little sun with tree and grass, Springtime, springtime, what do you see? I see shade under the tree. This little boy is always so creative. I mean, what he does is just absolutely gorgeous. Springtime, springtime, what do you see? I see a butterfly flying at me. And there's a sun. Springtime, springtime, what do you see? I see a sun shining on me. So they just got so creative. I was so impressed with what they did, and they really enjoyed doing it. So, I mean, anything that really gets them engaged and going in and really just able to make some of those connections of, you know, why are they expressing opinions about an author and what are some of the things that they're looking at. So a lot of them like the fact that he used repetitive sentences. A lot of them like the fact that he used he colored his paper and cut it out. That's what they thought was the coolest, because that's what they had that was most meaningful. He did a little caterpillar behind the grass, which is funny. So they did such a great job. And then they also did a little bit of, they had to express their opinion because that's part of the standard. They expressed their opinion about the author, and then they had to give a why. So this little girl wrote, I think Eric Carle is a good artist because his illustrations are colorful. I think Eric Carle is cool because he cuts paper. I like Eric Carle because his illustrations are cool and he cuts paper. So a lot of them had that connection with that. So they practiced, they did a first draft, and then they went back and completed the second one. They glued it onto the blue paper. And then that was it. So this was like the big project for writing this week. For reading, I talked to you guys about how their smart centers were their foldables. So they did foldables on frogs, and this is what they look like. So here, you know, they did all about frogs. Frogs are poisonous. Frogs' territories are being destroyed. Frogs are green so that they can blend in, and frogs change colors for predators. And then they had adjectives here. He wrote down colorful, green, amphibians, poisonous. They did some fun facts here. Then they have their life cycle cards, which they stuck inside here. They can pull them out and use them. His are stuck over here. I don't know why they're like that. I think I just ripped it. Whoops, my bad. I'll have to fix that before he has to pick that up. So they added their vocabulary cards and words here. Their life cycle was drawn there. They labeled the diagram. They got to do a sort. So they absolutely did a fantastic job with this. Frogs are amphibians so that they can live in water or land. Frogs can croak so that the animals won't eat them. Frogs are poisonous so that no one will eat it. Again, webbed feet, poisonous, and still did the same thing here. Did his life cycle, he labeled the frog, had his card there, fun facts are here. So they did such a great job with this, and I'm so proud of them. But that's really about all that we did. They really enjoyed doing number talks. So for like their math choice time, they chose to do a lot of number talks. And then we did a couple of other AMSTI games that we play, so like racing bears and stuff. But that was pretty much it, guys. We've been busy, really busy. So I have been so impressed with them. We had a really, really great week, and yep. So next week we're doing butterflies, which I'm really excited about. We'll have some other things. We'll do another foldable for that. And then we have a farm day that we're gonna do on Friday as a rotation between some of the girls on my team. So I'm gonna be planning that. I do have a video coming up on Thursday that's going to be my project-based learning Plan With Me, so you guys stay tuned for that. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end my vlog here, guys. I'm gonna go home and edit it so I'm ahead of the game. I'm gonna do my Thursday video on Saturday, so that it would have already been filmed, and get it up and going so that it'll just upload first thing Thursday morning. So I'm gonna get that scheduled for you guys. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you found it useful, if you found it with some great information, or you just enjoy me rambling about my class and my everyday life, please give it a thumbs up. And I will talk to you guys really, really soon. Have a good week. Bye. So my very first tip for you is to choose one thing. Now here's what I mean about that. So you come into teaching, and if you're a general ed classroom,